I, as a person, I don't like chat, but since we got video and audio, I thought I'd give it a try.
I mean, it's pretty legit, you know. It's kind of nice. Get to talk to people.
Oh yeah, it's a fun way to hang. I've done Google Chat Room with some programmer friends, but we're always just kind of just in our own world coding and stuff, and we only email back and forth to jump over the little hurdles that we have when you're coding. So what I'm trying to say is I never have time. I never dedicate time to just hanging out and talking. So I am here for a specific purpose to say, why did you want to hang out?
Because fuck it, why not?
I just publicly said that I revoked my support for Obama after 9 years. It's the first ever. He's the worst president ever. I regret supporting him, and I'm for Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney now looks like a better choice. That's what I just said. So, and then you said go in the tiny. Hi, X. You're an NFL player? Okay, well. Yeah.
And Wayne,
Here I am.
what do you code? Program?
My skill set is really in Microsoft Visual Basic. However, I can program PHP, and I've dabbled a little bit in Python and Perl. I feel given enough time, I can learn anything. And for me, I'm a self-taught programmer, and it was more about I needed to build something. Like, for example, let's say I needed to build a doghouse. There's a bunch of wood, there's a saw, and there's some nails. And eventually I learned how to make something that looked like a doghouse. And when you do things for the first time, things are ugly, you get cuts, and it never goes as planned, and it takes 2 to 4 times longer. But with the spirit of I'm going to build something and I don't give a fuck what it looks like. So that's how I do things. I did go to just community college. I was going to be a finance major. I did mortgage banking, home loans for 4 years. And while I went to college, I was a mechanic at BMW as a mechanic. I had a California smog license, Bar 1 and Bar 2, which was Bar 2 was the computerized version that came out in 1990. And out of the 6 guys in our dealership, I was the only guy to get the license. So I've got a lot of technical ability.
Wayne, you're old school. Like you know this.
I'm also the founder. I'm the father of photo hosting. This is a big deal. Some of my claims, when you take a photo with your device and you don't keep it at home, you put it on like a website like PhotoBucket or Flickr.
Like the cloud?
The cloud. I invented the first place to do that called Image Deposit in 2002. Before that, you couldn't put a photo anywhere. I'm the guy who I dedicated a server to it. I wrote the code, and at the time, it was exclusive for Craigslist. I mean, you could have used it somewhere else, but eventually, about a few years into it, I blocked it so you could only use it exclusively at Craigslist. And my service indirectly started. I was the guy who allowed erotic services to operate within Craigslist because for 5 years, Craig didn't have an upload photo button. You had to run a server. You had to put your photo on a server and write the HTML code to do something called a hot link and make it show up in Craigslist. So my service, I allowed you not only to store your photos at my place, but I gave you the code to put somewhere else. And in 2002, teaching people how to use HTML code in another website was really hard for people to grasp from a mental concept.
It still is.
Yeah, of course it still is. And also, if you've heard of Yelp,
HTML5.
And that's object-oriented programming. And I'm also the inventor of restaurant reviews by people like you. Yelp copied me. Okay, all Yelp members were members of my site. I existed for 1.5 years before Yelp even was born. And I also PayPal hired me to build their video tutorial systems about month number 5 of PayPal's existence. Dave McClure hired me to build the video tutorials that taught people how to put HTML buttons in websites. They paid me $4,000, and with that, they made billions of dollars, and they haven't given me a penny for it. I did speak at 3 PayPal conferences. I'm on PayPal's board of advisors for developers, and I spoke at a Wharton School of Business event where I was invited, and this is all because of PayPal. And
Wharton School of Business, that's the University of Pennsylvania, right? That's a really good school.
Yeah, for me, a community college guy, it was a big honor. So those are my
big honor for anybody.
Claims to fame. But right now I'm broke. This is my motorhome, everybody. Yeah, I'm getting royalties up. I'm getting royalties in the ass. I'm getting royalties in the ass.
I mean, as fun as that sounds, what about the fiduciary royalties?
What do you mean fiduciary? Like between bros? What do you mean fiduciary royalties?
Money.
Money?
Sí, señor. Dinero. ¿Dónde está el royalties?
Yes, I know what a royalty is. Like if you make a hit song, sell your song to another company and they sell it for you, and over the years you get money back from it, right? That's called a royalty.
Indeed.
So what are you talking about?
So you design proprietary code or programming, and you didn't protect it.
That's correct. So I get fucked in the ass.
So lesson to all the kiddly divies out there: if you do something smart on a computer, protect it.
There is really no way to protect it. So let me just talk about that for a quick second. So you've all heard of Napster, right?
Yeah.
So my friend,
I'm the actual original founder of Napster.
Who is?
I am. My name's Seth Green.
No, you're not. Sean Fanning is, and my friend gave Sean Fanning his first $10,000, and my friend is Adrian Scott, who got his PhD at age, I think, 18 or 19 in mathematics, and he lives in Panama right now, and he invented a site called Ryze, R-Y-Z-E. So Sean Fanning is number 3 at Facebook, and after Sean got fucked from Napster, he made sure that Zuckerberg wouldn't get fucked, and he helped Zuckerberg get like 53% ownership. So Zuckerberg will never go away, and Facebook is a surveillance tool. But what I want to talk about Napster is Napster was the first time ever you could get music for free, and that's a big deal because I always had to buy CDs and stuff, and when I was a kid, music was expensive, and you were always trying to make a tape of it. It was before, digital music. So Napster came along, created the culture.
The old school cats in here. I mean, let's please agree with Wayne. Like Napster.
I'm going to get out of here if you won't let me talk. Napster created a culture of piracy. And so now there's a whole generation, mostly kids under the age of 35, who think stealing's okay and normal. And actually, legally it's not, but it is the culture that stealing is normal. So that's why the Yelp guys stole my stuff without reservation. YouTube was built on theft. The guy who, John, whatever his name is, the founder of YouTube, he was dating the daughter of Kleiner Perkins. And Kleiner Perkins is one of the top 5 largest venture capital firms in the world. Multi-billion dollars. So he was dating the daughter, and they said, look, we're going to make this YouTube thing. We know they're going to infringe, but if this guy can make it popular and successful, we'll make so much money that we'll pay Hollywood back for violating all those trademark and copyright infringing, the MPAA and violating their royalties. And so now artists have been getting fucked from YouTube for years, and now they're like, okay, we'll take some money from you, but it's still not a lot of money. Most artists always get screwed. First, for years, they got screwed by the record industry, and now they're getting screwed by the internet. A few artists self-release.
Wayne, can I ask you a question? I'm not trying to interrupt you.
No, I'm actually done. I'm off my podium, so you guys can talk away.
Well, I know so many smart programmers, coders, people who have really unique ideas about the internet, etc. Um, but they all seem to be put out a little bit, like, you know, not in a dissimilar boat that you're in. How come?
So you have ideas that you think are valid, and you're like, man, if they would just listen to me and we partnered, we'd all be rich. And you're kind of saying they're dismissive and they don't want to do it. Is that something? Is that close to it?
I'm an idiot, but I mean, yes, I have a lot of bright friends, but it seems to be that the computer industry has kind of marginalized the IQ for good business ideas, for good business acumen.
No, it's not the internet. It's okay. So I started, my first website was 1996, and I made useporsche.com. It was a used Porsche website, and it was pretty badass. And then Porsche sued me, and I lost my useporsche.com. I still own useporsche.net, and I own a lot of things like useferrari.com. But now the laws are pretty clear, and I can own them. I still might have a legal fight with them, and then I say, look it, you dumb fucks. I'm not violating your copyright infringement. I'm not infringing on your trademarks. I'm not infringing on your brand. They're going to claim something called trademark dilution, where a normal person would be like, huh, is that Ferrari or is it Wayne? So you have to be really clear. This, like, I'm speaking specifically about my useferrari.com. I am not associated with Ferrari at all in any way. This is a normal guy running a used Ferrari site. In 1996, 19 years ago, those laws were kind of not really known. But now there's a lot of case law about trademark dilution on the internet. But I still have to defend myself. And that comes under, now I want to talk about trademark and copyright. Copyright is, if I invent something, it's my right to copy, not yours. And likewise for you. And so the world, when I got started, was very like the Wild West, very lawless. But now the world has corporatized the internet. So things like Facebook have hijacked people's brains, and people in general, the average citizen maybe has one on the internet where they used to be on television, and they've turned that lazy behavior to the internet. Previously, before that, people who went on the internet were pretty much geeks, like people on chat rooms. Oh, I'm not saying you guys are geeks, but it's really a...
And I apologize for the echo.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
Is that you or me? Well, your echo is reverberation, so turn down your speakers.
Who, me? Okay.
Well, whoever thought they had the echo.
Yeah, the problem is my earphones are in my bedroom where my wife is sleeping, and that's a bear that I'm not willing to poke. Well, not right now at any rate. However, I did have a question for you. So, has the internet been completely commoditized? Like, have we lost? Like, we go onto a web page, we have to click 5 things to get to what we want to see. Have we lost?
Have we lost what? Okay, so the internet's not over. It's just, when I was a kid, they talked about cable TV, and eventually we'd have 500 TV stations. And at that time, when I was a kid, there was only like 4 TV stations. Everybody in America only watched 4 TV stations. It'd be like the internet only having 4 websites. Okay, so America has gone back. So that 4 TV stations has actually come back, and it's 4 websites. What are the 4 websites people go to? Like, if you looked at the whole pie of America, 80% of those people in America are only going to 4 places because their brains don't have enough power, because they're so tired from working super hard, and they come home, they gotta shit, shower, and shave, you gotta eat, and you gotta sleep, so you have no recreational time left. They watch a few feel-good television shows, and they go on the internet to Facebook and say hi to their friends from high school and whatever behavior they want to engage in. People have replaced television behavior with internet behavior, and that's all that's going on. So all the big marketing and big manipulation of getting people to buy shit is moved over to the internet. And it's a collective.
Can I ask a question?
It's a collective process. It takes 22 times before somebody buys something. So there's a lot of manipulation going on, controlled by the Jews.
Oh, wow. All right, let me ask you a quick question, Wayne, because everything you say, I agree with. How do you, and my wife and I talk about this a lot, how do you not utilize the internet? Sorry about the echo. How do you not utilize the internet as television?
Okay, I gave up television in 2007. I don't use, the same way I don't utilize a gay dildo. It's not for me, you know? So, you know, I don't watch sports. Sports to me, now don't get me wrong, I've been to some baseball games, I've been to football games, I'm a former athlete in high school. I'm not a spectator, I'm a participant. So I'm a person who wants to do something with my life versus watching life go by. And there's nothing wrong with watching life go by. I used to get drunk, smoke lots of weed, and just watch life go by, and that sounds like fun. But unfortunately, Craig from Craigslist, I had a business with Craig, my image deposit, and it still exists, but on year number 8, it was growing. It got up to over $500 a day. My competitor, PhotoBucket, had copied me, and I just signed a 3-year contract, and I had 138,000 customers. I had 53 million pages in Craigslist using my image deposit service. PhotoBucket had 51 million, and PhotoBucket was bought for $420 million. So my company, me, just one guy, was competing against a well-funded company of 90 people, and I was still kicking their ass. But Craig said no more image deposit or anybody else putting photos into his ecosystem. So I built a business based on somebody else's business, and I lost it. And then so I didn't drink for 7 years, and I decided to start drinking again, hoping to invent something, because I used to get drunk and invent ideas. And I did. I invented letsgohookup.com. I invented a hookup site with my girlfriend, and then my girlfriend got tired of me drinking, and she threw me an intervention, and she broke up with me. And the night she broke up with me, I went to get beer because I was at her parents' house, and I fucked up and got a drunk driving. And then after the drunk driving, she threw me out of our apartment, and I wasn't allowed, you know, she kicked me out, and I was homeless for 2 days, and my life has been shit ever since.
I'm going to go ahead and declare that Wayne is one of us, and you just hang in there, brother.
This nigga's straight up. So.
Like before nigga Christ was born. And look at him, this nigga drinking on a teacup.
So say hi to Terry.
Keeping it classy, man. Well, I'm living in a motorhome. I don't have a lot of cups that are clean right now, but I do like my teacup. Who gives a shit?
Hey, Wayne, how old are you, man?
I'm 46 years old.
Right on. I feel like a lot of people your age, my age, I'm 42, we're in a similar boat.
And explain your boat to me.
Well, the bottom kind of dropped out on us, right? Like we all had our tangent, our angle. We were approaching things. Well, I'm not saying you're poor, nigga. I got money. I sell drugs. You know what I'm saying?
No, read this.
Oh, that's a bank robbery, nigga.
No. $4 in this $5 bill is owned by the 1%, and us 99%ers, we own $1 of it.
True. But how much of that dollar do you use to pay your rent?
My rent is $375.
So you use all that dollar to pay your rent?
Hello. Well, I am 6 months behind in my rent, and my landlord is benevolent, and he's allowing me to get back on my feet. He's not too happy about it, but I was working I have not punched a time clock since 1986, and in 1999 I became financially independent, where I didn't have to work for somebody else. I was making enough money to keep consulting and building my own software products. So I had achieved financial independence. But now that I have lost that, I wasn't able to raise money through my two investors, and I had to take a job at Safeway as a courtesy clerk, which is a euphemism for janitor. And on day 65, another employee, as I was clocking in, told me to suck a bag of dicks. And I was like, what'd you say to me? And he's like, yeah, suck a bag of dicks. Now, in high school, I would have secretly followed him home and cut his head off. I would have first gouged out his eyes and fucked his shit up. But in the modern world, I don't want to go to jail for that. And I can't be fucking up people at work. And I can't be making threats. So I called Human Resources, and they fucking fired me. It's insanity. And now I can't shop at that Safeway because I went on YouTube and made a video to the CEO of Safeway, and I said, look I'm a former executive. I ran my own company. And the last few years, I ran it into the ground so much I had to take a job at your store working for $9 an hour, scrubbing toilets, 12 toilets an hour. But I'm humble enough to do it. I even did it in this shirt, $100 shirt. So I'm sucking a bag of dicks for $9 an hour, and I said that's not acceptable.
I mean, I don't think you're alone. Like in that cart, like there's a lot of.
No, I'm not alone. Everybody's being fucked. Everybody's being screwed over. Hello.
Yeah, a lot of cats.
Neckbeard.
A lot of cats being fucked, man. Like yeah, sorry for the echo. I can't get my mic on my computer to work. I'm just rolling with the echo. I'd like to welcome Pterodax, my messiah. I feel you, man. Like, I'm 42. I know X is around that age. Like, we're all struggling. We all thought we made, right? We just got to keep rolling.
Of course, yeah, I'm still living. I'm sober now. I've got 19 years of sobriety under my belt, and I can't program anything when I'm drunk. But, like, right now...
That's nothing to joke about, man. That's good for you, man.
Yeah, it's solid sobriety. No, the intervention was bullshit. The intervention was my friend saying, we don't want to be your friend, and we're saying goodbye to you. That's what that was. They said, look you're drinking too much. We're never going to talk to you again. Go fuck yourself. And I haven't seen any of them since. And then my girlfriend broke up with me. I wasn't offered any type of rehab or anything. So.
No, I just said, but I was just fucking doing peace, man. Fuck.
Right here, bro. Right here. Let me tell you. No. I would change. Okay, so America's about 240 years old. And for about half of that time, 120 years, we used to print our own money. But the Federal Reserve is as federal as Federal Express, the package delivery company. The people who make our money are a private group, a private bank. They're not part of the U.S. government. And most people don't know this. Okay, so the Federal Reserve, I would abolish the Federal Reserve. They charge us 3% on our money every year as interest to manage the complicated process of printing money. And here it is. It's not complicated. It's paper with ink. And they charge us 3%. So it's like having a credit card. I'm sure a lot of you have had credit cards, and you're like, I bought $1,000 worth of shit stuff. Why do I owe you $5,000? Because of compounding interest. Albert Einstein said one of the most beautiful things on earth is compounding interest. A $100,000 loan at 8% interest will cost you $340,000 after 30 years. So this is how the rich keep getting richer. I'm a finance major. I'm great with math, and it's all about loans and money, the banks. And I believe in the teachings of Jesus in a small amount, that we're all brothers and sisters in the eyes of God, and that, you know, my heart would probably work in your heart, and that we should help one another. I do believe in turning the other cheek. I'd like to go on the record as saying I fuck with Wayne. I like Wayne. And I believe that God does see what's going on, but God is not what I used to think God is. God is actually aliens. Aliens are people who live somewhere else, who have the ability to control us somehow. Yeah, well, say hi to me. Well, why don't you follow me first? Every morning I go through and I just basically follow everybody that follows me. Exactly. So, and then what I didn't tell you is I delete people if they're idiots, and I don't want to hear their bullshit. Well, why don't you just say, well, then follow me and say, I'm the guy from the chat session. Yeah, I like the bong. That's good. XUO, are you XUO out? Yeah, thanks for making that really fucking easy. So I've got a book right here. Check this out. Look at the book.
Hey, now, don't knock the O in the name, all right? There used to be a time when like XOR, fucking us, fucking Saken, fucking, yeah, there's a whole slew of motherfuckers with zero up in their name.
Don't make me think. I like that. Agreed.
Well, how many of you know about building number 7?
What are you talking about?
How about a better question?
Number 4, number 6, number 1, number 2.
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Building number 7? Pull it?
Okay,
what?
So what's your name? Which one are you?
Spyco. The command to pull it.
Spyco. Pull it? What?
Yeah, I did. I own that whole construction company.
Video? Are you the Batman hat?
Building.
No, I'm one of the microphones that says Spyco. SPYC0.
Okay, well, oh yeah, I see you down there. So, how old are you, Spy Zero?
Spyco, motherfucker. Jesus fucking Christ.
Look,
I am.
You guys invent bullshit names. It's gonna be okay. So what you want to do in life is you don't walk around with these bullshit
come on,
names.
Wayne.
Hey, fuck you! I'm turning this off. Goodbye.
When, come on, at least fucking put this nigga. He's out. This nigga dropped out with a hold on, and fucked up names. All right, done did it, on it. All right, motherfucking, I'm gonna follow that guy.